A legend today is the frontman of one of my favourite bands, Placebo. Welcome to Six Music. Brian, hiya.
Hiya. Hi, Liz. That's very kind of you.
No, I really mean it. And I hope you won't take offence. But there was a bit of mistaken identity when I first heard you before I saw you. And I wonder what you think of this. I thought you were a female lead singer.
I take no offense to that.
Oh, good.
Whatsoever.
I loved your voice.
Something that I noticed happening when I was at university, and so when I got into a band, I thought that I would play it up a little bit to see what kind of effect it would have on an audience. In the end, it sort of became very much a kind of a political act. More than anything.
What do you mean?
Well, I wanted to confront homophobia.
Yeah.
Basically. I wanted anybody who was homophobic in our audience to think I was a girl and to fancy me.
Right.
And then have to ask themselves a few questions when they found out my name was Brian.
Right. And did you get asked questions?
Well, yeah, certainly, you know. But it kind of evolved from there after a little while.
Yeah.
And some of the elements of what we were doing aesthetically were appropriated by the mainstream. So we kind of moved on a little bit. I sort of understood that androgyny was more about the blendings, you know, the in-between place, rather than a guy in a dress. It took on a bit more of a sophisticated and subtle tone.
I've fought battles about trying to make gender irrelevant in my own trade. So, should gender be irrelevant?
Well, yeah, I think it should. Absolutely.
So, in rock and roll, are we not selling sex to some extent?
Yeah, but that's historically always been the case from Elvis onwards. And it's always been part of the attraction. And it's certainly a concert is a place where people can come and feel free. And our concerts are particularly like that. You know, it's a celebration of freedom and tolerance and acceptance.
Well, I loved you when I thought you were a girl. I loved you when I found out you were a bloke, when I saw you on Top of the Pops.
Well, thank you.
So it's irrelevant to me. I just think you've got one of the most distinctive voices ever in rock and roll music.
Wow, thank you. That's a real compliment for me. I've always been obsessed with voices that are unique, like from, I don't know, Billie Holiday, Janis Joplin, Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, Björk, Polly Harvey. So that's a big compliment for me. Thank you.
Well, like all those people you've mentioned, I think you've got real passion and pathos and pain in your voice as well.
Well, it's kind of yes, because it's a form of catharsis for me. It's a form of self-therapy in many ways, and people often ask me, you know, what are your influences in terms of deciding what to write about. I'm often scared by the blank page. For me, the most major influence is the process itself. And through the process of songwriting, I discover what's going on inside of me emotionally.
You've had 7 studio albums, and another album which I absolutely love is your covers album.
Yeah.
And that features 20th Century Boy, Running Up the Hill, Kate Bush, off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember them all now. But you did get labelled with this kind of glam rock genre as well, didn't you? Not least because you got embraced by David Bowie.
Yes, that is true. We were lucky enough to kind of be mentored by David Bowie very early on in our career. And he heard a demo of ours. It had the Nancy Boy song on it. And he invited us out on tour before we'd even released our first album, which is incredible. And then I wrote this song, Without You, I'm Nothing, and one day he phoned up and said he liked it so much he wanted to sing on it. So that happened. I mean, there isn't really for a songwriter, a bigger accolade, and it's an incredible thing for me anyway. And I was so young when it happened.
Yeah.
But I think this whole glam rock thing sprung from our very brief appearance in a movie called Velvet Goldmine.
Yeah.
And it just became a very easy thing for people to kind of put us in a box.
Well, I'm glad you did cover that T-Rex song, because I think it's a great version. I also love
you.
your Boney M, Daddy Cool cover.
Yeah.
That's such fun. Anyway, let's play a track now from the new album. It's, it's not new anymore. It's 6 months old or something. Loud Like Love, but a new single from that, A Million Little Pieces. Here it is.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a cliche, really. I'm most proud of the last one.
Yeah.
But I will probably be most proud of the next one when we make the next one.
Which song do you think, you get through your set and you think, can't wait to sing that one because the whole place is going to erupt?
We started playing a song from Loud Like Love called Begin the End, which is quite a hypnotic song, which we haven't played live very much. We just started doing that recently. But the very last song on the album is called Bosco, and it's very difficult. We can't play it live at the moment because we need a string section in order to do it justice. And I'm particularly proud of that song because it's, I think every now and again, a band, if they're lucky, they write a song which transcends the band's identity, that can kind of exist within its own context without referring to who the band are, in order to have life and to tell its story. And I think that Bosco is that song for us.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what my favourite is in a minute and play it. But first of all, you are in France as I speak to you now, and
Yes.
you've got quite a few dates there, different festivals, and then all around Europe, Switzerland, Milan, Rome, Madrid, Athens, Hungary, just picking them out here, Germany, and then later in the year in October, back in Spain and Portugal. What about us here?
Well, we hope to do some more British gigs very soon.
Yes.
We're talking about it at the moment, so watch this space.
Well, do, because I know 4 girls who do a string quartet thing, so I can even help you out with that.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool.
It's a deal.
We'll talk about that after the interview then.
Okay. Well, I hope you keep on keeping on and bringing us great songs and great performances, and I hope we see you soon. So I loved it from day one in 2003, I think it was, and not long after this station, Six Music had started up, and I thought, yes, this is the kind of thing that Six Music was made for, and it's Bitter End. Is that a favourite?
Yes, it's a live favourite.
I thought so, because I've been there, and we all did go bonkers.
Yeah, it's usually the last song we play before the encore.
Yeah.
It's usually the peak of the energy crescendo.
That's
of our
why.
show.
That's why I thought you might have chosen that one or mentioned that one. But I've done it anyway. I'm glad you agree. It hits the spot.
It certainly does.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, lovely to speak to you, and we hope we do see you in the UK soon. And
So do we. Thank you. Lovely talking to you.
Okay, and so A Million Little Pieces out now. Placebo coming soon. I'm going to play Bitter End and sort Brian out with some cellos and stuff. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.